make it happen. I just want to, inform people on everything that's really happening in real time. You know what I mean? So that's part of the purpose of what we're doing as far as like the Milwaukee. Exactly. Yeah. I just went out.
All right. Going in about 40 seconds.
Yes, sir. We're going straight in.
I'll see.
This is good. It's a new year. It's my first show of 2017. Josh, you be killing it up here too, man. I be tuned in. You be doing a good job, bro.
For sure.
Yeah. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Check 1, 2. Good morning. Good morning. It's Thursday. It's 9 o'clock. It's the Educational Arts Project. We here, we live, 101.3 FM. I'm your host, Viva Fidel. Stay tuned in for the next hour. We got some great conversation going on. It's the Educational Arts Project each and every Thursday, where we bring you some great guests, topics, talking about the importance of connecting, talking about the importance of community and culture and preserving and family. That's what this is all about each and every Thursday. I'm honored. I got the privilege to be joined by Joshua Jones in the place this morning, holding down the boards. I just wanted to give a big shout out. Y'all hear his voice all the time on the station. We always start each and every Wednesday. This is a new year, but one thing is going to remain the same. We'll start each and every educational arts episode thanking all the new listeners. Our audience is growing each and every week, and we want to shout out all the new listeners to the station, all the new listeners to the Educational Arts Project. Welcome. Thank you very much. And to all of our all of our supporters, all of our people that spread the word, all of my past guests, all of the people that support the station, the underwriters, the sponsors, the other guests that you hear on this platform, the other station. The other stations don't matter. The people that you hear on this station are giving a platform and giving a pulse to the community and things that's going on in the city that matter on a different level. So, we want to tell you each and every Wednesday, make sure each and every Wednesday you tune in, each and every Thursday you tune in, each and every day of the week you tune in and support the station, okay? Not just on Thursdays, the Educational Arts Project. I started out by laying the foundation. We supporting this community platform, and we want everybody to do this at the same time. Boy, Joshua Jones, turn something on, man. You just, I'll just be rolling off of this. I'll be just flowing off of this. Man, look, I am honored to this morning. Each and every Thursday, I've been able to bring some of my very special friends in. Some of my guests have, it's just made incredible impact around not only Milwaukee, but just in general in this life. Just made some incredible impact. So I'm able to bring some of my people to the forefront and say, hey, connect with my audience and connect with the listeners. And we always say this is a conversation that goes on off air throughout the week. We keep this conversation moving. Why? Because this is real life. We are in education and in arts, and we're working on several different connective projects, and so I just wanted to, get everybody ready. Strap in your seatbelts, get your pen and pads out. It's about to be another very, very, very informative and inspirational class. My brother, Mr. Muhammad, he said, you shouldn't even call these episodes, Fidel. You should call them classes, man, because y'all be dropping so many jewels, man. I said, you know what? Okay. So this the next class for 2017. Actually, this is the first class for 2017 that we just kicking off this year in a major way. I have Miss Jendora Kelly with me in the studio. Yes. Some of you may know her. Some of you may know Miss Kelly. Some of you was raised by her. And let me tell you something. She's a very important community figure, an educator, a mother, an actress. an artist, so much more. We got a lot to talk about today. All of my guests, really are my guest list is crazy. That's all I want to say. So big shout out to all my past guests. I love y'all and all of my supporters that, have given me great feedback by all these great voices that we brought to the platform to just share what they have going on. Some dynamic things that's right up under the nose, right up in your backyard, right here in the city. Welcome, Miss Jendora Kelly.
Thank you.
You got to step up to the mic.
That introduction was one to step into right there.
There you go. Step into it. We live.
Thank you. Most deaf.
The people want to hear you, and the people want to feel you, and I'm glad you're here because I know what you do.
I'm glad to be here.
I've seen you in action.
Most deaf.
I've been in your educational space.
Yes.
I've seen how your youth respond to you.
Yes, I am blessed and I'm honored.
I've seen how the adults around your environment respond to you and what you're doing.
I give it back.
And I'm just saying it's inspirational on a lot of levels, and what you do and how you share your gifts in the educational space is a force.
Thank you.
And you keep up the great work. And I know sometimes that's when you're in the trenches, it get heavy.
Yeah,
it get heavy sometimes, and I just want
does.
to tell you, I recognize it and I love it, and keep it moving. All right, and I got your back, and you know that already.
Yes,
and so. Welcome again. Introduce yourself a little bit. Tell people how you got into education first. Let's start there. We're gonna cover a lot of ground, but let's talk about like education and what made you interested in, I guess, like giving back in that way.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised right here in Milwaukee, 53206 zip code, aka Burla Zoo. Not a zoo because we're not animals, but I have a 50-year legacy on 21st and Chambers. My mother was an MPS teacher for about 40 years, so I saw her active in the lives of kids, of her own kids, and the neighborhood kids, and the school kids. I was active in church as a youth. So it was instilled in me at a very young age. As I got older, I went to the Air Force. I was in the corporate field, and I didn't appreciate the wearing of the mask for my type of personality. I needed to be with people, feeling people, giving to people, being refueled by people. So I believe in signs. A young lady, her name is Dr. Camille Mortimer, knocked on my door in the year of 2007, 2008, and she invited me to come to her school. Well, after that conversation, within 2 days, I was sitting at her desk. That opened the door for me to be a student motivator and community leader in the very neighborhood that I was born and raised in. I'm affiliated with Laverne Way, the legacy Laverne Way Boys and Girls Club. Shout out to my guy Mike Chiz and Punkin over there. So me becoming Mama Kelly was not just what I do, it's who I am. And that's where it all started. So I've been there doing charter schools. I was at the Academy of Learning and Leadership. I got on board with Milwaukee College Prep. Started their Lindsay Heights campus in 2010. Moved them over to the Lloyd Street campus. Continued student motivation, being involved with parents, being involved with youth, and even was a cheerleading coach. So being who you are can open doors to do endless possibilities.
Absolutely. And, I always think anything is possible myself, right?
It is.
And it is, exactly. So I tell myself that often. So when I see other artists and creatives that who are naturally teachers and performers in that way, embracing that sort of wide range of what's possible, I like to talk about it. I like to break bread and have conversations with other artists who think the same way, other creatives and educators who think the same way. So this platform is what this is all about. This conversation, the Educational Arts Project, is wide open to the community as well. We always say the phone lines is open, 414-888-5025. That's just for the record. If anybody want to call in, we always get feedback during the show while we online. People send social media messages and tweets and inboxes and all that. But I just always tell people you can also call in and join the conversation.
Talk to us.
If you so choose. Some people just wake up. Some people just driving and moving around. Take the time out there. It's slick and slippery, and we want you to get to where you're going. We want you to tune in to the Educational Arts Project, but we also want to make sure that you get to where you're going. So take your time, and we want to keep this conversation moving. So tell us about your role in the current school that you're in?
Well, I began at Carmen Northwest Campus in 2013 when they opened their doors, and I was hired on to do student support. That has now evolved into the position of community culture leader. When I started there, it was more focused towards discipline. But
Hold on.
All right.
Because that's crucial. And the ending point was crucial too. When you started, it was more towards discipline.
Yep.
Student support was more towards discipline. Mm-hmm. Now, what you do is called
culture.
Mm-hmm. So now, that's a great jewel in there.
It is.
And people need to understand that a lot of support that our students need is connection to what?
Culture.
Culture.
Culture is a way of life.
Keep going.
How can we tell our kids where they have been wronged? How can we give our kids consequences if we're not teaching them how to live in the first place? So let's give them a sense of direction, give them a sense of support and encouragement before we pass out the consequences. Before we make up the rules, let's consider who we're dealing with and why we're dealing with them, and how we're living on an everyday basis.
And what they're dealing with.
And what they're dealing with.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
It's real.
So when a student walks into your classroom, you're not just teaching the brain, the part of the brain that wants to learn math. You're teaching a person that is coming in, sitting down at a desk with whatever they came in and woke up with this morning. Not just the part of the brain that learns math. We're teaching whole people. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you teach people unless you learn people, love people, give to people, refuel people? These are our future adults. We can't act like we ain't never been there, done that.
Right.
We were all 15, 16, 14
right.
once, and we know how that was.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't have camera phones and all that when I was 15. Whoa. We're going to take a break right quick and come back on that note and talk a little bit more about what that looks like now.
Most definitely.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to give me an official Joshua Jones bumper, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. Yeah, but can y'all imagine though if they did have camera phones back then? Like, man.
We'd be in trouble.
Everybody be in trouble.
We probably wouldn't have had these type of jobs.
Right. If they had camera phones then, wouldn't be no camera phones now. Like,
man.
It was bad.
It would have been illegal now.
Yeah, for real. Right, straight up. Man. Yeah, it's interesting, yo. I think about that often. I be like, yo, it's a different world. Mm-hmm. It's a different world.
It is.
You know.
But you know what though? Without that technology that they have, we taught.
Oh, without a doubt.
We knew how to have
and we
fun.
learned.
Yes,
without the
and we knew how to have fun.
Hell yeah. Damn right.
You know, better in shape.
We knew how to communicate.
Yeah, we danced.
We knew how to
kids don't dance.
We knew how to drive from one part of the country to the other.
Most definitely.
Get to where the fuck we was
on a
going.
bike.
Yes, that. Shit.
For real.
But he's joking one day talking about the trips down south. You know, every season. When he was coming up, every spring break, every winter break, you know, be a caravan.
Most definitely.
GPS.
That was the, man, we ain't need no GPS.
Instinct. It's instinct. It's like,
man,
yo.
You talk to somebody old school, they tell you, take Highway 57.
Yeah, I'm talking about. That may be my second guest. Miss Cody. She didn't respond to my text, but she's very mellow. Just very well may just show her. Oh, maybe not. Okay. She might come through today. She might come through next week. I'm gonna start bringing this. I don't know if you know Brenda Cody from the Water Comics, Milwaukee Water Comics. Yeah, have her come through and do some lead updates. Have her tell some of the research they got. They compiled all this great information that don't nobody know about. So I'm trying to help change that as well. Mm-hmm. Mandatorily. I like that. Mandatorily. I be on this motherfucker making up all kind of words. I should start writing that shit down. We have
Artistic freedom.
on the real. We going?
Right after this one, yep.
Okay.
Going back in.
I'm good so far.
Yes. Yeah, our level's good and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Bet. So that's sort of like the way your job sort of evolved, sort of led you to start your institute, your own thing.
That's what we're going with this conference.
Which you contract,
Yeah.
which you ultimately are open for contracting with
5
other
cents.
education organizations, which is when we get to that boom,
Yep.
mud, and bam. Yes. You heard it right. Mandatorily. We back. It's right. It's mandatorily every Thursday morning. The Educational Arts Project with Viva Fidel 101.3 FM. This is the Pulse of Milwaukee. You know, tell a friend to tell a friend. Tune in and support the station. Support all the people that's involved with making this possible. And if you just joined us, I'm here with Jendora Kelly. Miss Kelly is the community culture leader at Carmen High School. She's also an actress and a co-director of Empower Theater, and that's a social justice advocacy theater group. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but you're on a lot of different projects. You're connected with a lot of different things. But
Yes.
Before the break, we were talking about how sort of how you help to shape your own outlet to be able to give your gift in the classroom, in the schools. Now, a lot of people run into a lot of issues. I mean, we talk to educators here on this platform, but again, this is a constant conversation for us. If you want to join us, tune in 414-888-5025. And also, y'all know how to hit me up. You know, people stop me all the time and talk about what we talk about here. So we, left sort of explaining how you created a different culture by using love and culture to help reach and support youth. Now, what age range of young people are you working with?
I work with youth. I will work with any child from birth to grown. However, my projects are primarily directed towards middle school, high school, and young adult.
Okay.
Over at Carmen, we have middle school 6th through 12th grade, high school, and this is our first year. Our founding class is graduating this year, so this is our first full graduation year. So it's an exciting year. Shout out to my babies over at Carmen.
No doubt. No doubt.
But I'm blessed to go to a job where what I do, and who I am are one and the same. I go to work to be myself. And how do you get the best response out of a young person is to be real with them. We cannot sugarcoat life because life is not going to be sugarcoated for them in their own experiences. So with that being said, I let them know everything that they learn in school, the rules, the character traits, all of those things that they learn in school contribute to who they are as a person and how they're going to operate as an adult in everyday life, whether it be through employment, family, or community involvement. You are a well-rounded person. You define yourself. The systems that are established in our city, in our government, in this world do not define you. If that's the case, we behind the 8 ball at birth. We must define ourselves, and we have to empower our youth to know that they have the power to define themselves.
So what you do at Carmen, we were talking a little bit off air, is, you're open and available and interested in sharing this and spreading this around the different schools and organizations.
Yes, definitely.
So let's talk about what that would look like and how people can, get in touch with you if they want to, because I'm sure, I have a lot of educators and people who are involved in education in general that tune into the conversations. And, it's about solutions. We talk about how do we solve these problems? How do we get to the root of these issues? We don't just throw around no complaints. This ain't that. Not around here.
No,
Say that over there.
No.
I'm just saying. But for real, what we do is create a network of solutions, right? So what you're talking about is something that could definitely be useful to another fellow solutionary.
Definitely.
How do they get in touch with you, and what does that look like?
Well, what it looks like, first of all, is I work primarily with the circle process. I work with 4 core values: respect, listening, value, and trust. These are 4 components that will contribute to every single
I told people to get their
interaction.
pen and pad.
Yes, get that pen and
so,
paper.
So just slow down a little bit.
Slow it down.
My artists, we be up in here going machine gun because that's how we do. So we're gonna slow it down and give people a chance to really soak up on what you're saying, Mama.
4 core values: respect, respecting yourself, and respecting your legacy will empower you to respect others. Second value is listening, seeking to understand, not just to be understood. We always want to get our point across, but we need to understand where we are to understand who we are and where we're going. Third core value is value. We are all important. There is no one person that is greater than the next. We are all creatively created by the Creator. We must live creatively.
Bars. So
last core value.
Go ahead.
Last core value is trust. And nowadays the word trust is, I don't trust nobody. That's the big thing. But trust is not that difficult. Trust is simply to have the best intentions. You trust me, right? Because I got the best intentions for you. It's not that difficult to have the best intentions for yourself and for your interactions. That's trust. 4 core values.
That speaks a lot to people's own intentions.
Yes.
Because people always put it off on somebody else.
Yeah.
You understand? People always put it off on somebody else because really it's their own intentions.
You can't face the world until you face the mirror.
There you go. So if people want to get in touch with you,
yes,
we talked about sort of how the process works.
If you want to get in touch with me, holla at me. Of course, I'm on Facebook under my true name because I am who I am. I am Jendora Kelly.
It ain't Jendora been popping out here, Kelly. You ain't Miss Jendora been popping out here.
No popping out here.
No.
I am Jendora Kelly. That's Jendora Kelly. Legacy last name Kelley. Look me up on Facebook. I give out my personal cell phone number, 414-766-4222. I keep it simple. Get in touch with me.
Yep. Say it again slow.
414-766-4222. Holla at me.
Yeah. And, again, that's what this platform is for, to be able to connect our solution builders, because I always say the helpers need help.
Most definitely.
And so I know you here and people might be listening and be like, yo, she's strong, she got to figure it out, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
We're not created to do it alone.
I tell people all the time, these are the ones you want to connect with, you want to help, you want to see how you can connect on a service level.
Right.
If you have something you can build and add on resources, you hear what it's about, you hear where it's going,
right.
And she giving you direct access and direct connections.
Email me, Jendora Kelly at Gmail. I keep it simple.
Yep. So you facilitate different workshops and events outside of the school.
Yes.
Through your own.
My own thing.
Your own vehicle. Yeah.
Yes,
which evolved from what you're doing at school, and which is being your authentic self and delivering that love to our youth. And they getting it by example, not just by lip service and just by mouth. I've seen it myself. I've been up there. And I got little ones at the school, and I know what it is for real. So I can definitely co-sign that. You wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't know for a fact. You know what I mean? Just for the record, my listening audience know this is official. We ain't just talking that talk around here. Talk to us a little bit about what you have coming up and what you're facilitating. And I mean, it's really dope. I love promoting the positive. I love when people are taking the initiative to do things on a family level, on a healthy level, as far as like what's healthy for our community. And it's like we were talking about earlier again, like some people might think that that's just, like you said, eating to be hungry, but some people are really tasting that avocado and tomato together and mixed. Living life. So this is like living life, creating something out of nothing in order to facilitate a solution. And you're doing some gender specific dialogues, some events, and it's coming up. This is all perfect timing. I didn't even notice
really
when you
is.
hit
It
me.
really
When I
is.
hit you initially, I didn't know you was like cooking up all of this
Yeah, I was in the kitchen.
greatness. Yes, this is awesome, and this is really what we all about here. So let's talk about it.
Okay, my vehicle, what I drive, is called Learning Life
what drives you?
Institute. What drives me? It's called Learning Life Institute, and it is exactly what the name is. You're learning life. And how do we teach our people how to learn life? Is we tell them about our own lives. I have two divisions of Learning Life Institute, two gender-specific programs. One is Mentality, Males Lifting to Climb, and the other is MUD, Mothers Understanding Daughters. These are two programs that promote the positive conversations and relationships between our young people and adults. You've heard of a lot of programs, but this program promotes the bond that needs to take place between our young people and adults. And I know you heard the term MUD, Mothers Understanding Daughters. Don't think that you have to come in as a mother-daughter duo. This is for girls and women of all ages because we are all someone's daughter. And these are table talks and dinner and dialogues based on life conversations, things that affect us every day, and how we need to navigate through what we're doing so that we won't be victimized by our experiences. I have two events being hosted at Carmen High School, 5496 North 72nd Street, the Northwest Campus, coming up in the next couple weeks. On Tuesday, June 24th, at Carmen High School, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock is Mentality. And my guest speaker that day, because I believe in the power of personal testimony, my guest speaker that day is Mr. James Jefferson. James Jefferson is the father of Jalen Lopez, who was killed on 68th and Congress back in November. Jalen was a mentee of my own and also a founding student of Carmen High School. So that ripple effect of violence came home. And people need to understand that when things happen in our community, it doesn't just affect the aggressor or the victim. It affects every single one of us. How many parents have had their kids come home, something has happened to a classmate or family member of a classmate? These are discussions that we need to address so that we can talk about where we are and how we're going to move forward for the betterment of all of us, but especially our youth, because they're leading the next generation. The conversation, table talk for MUD will be held at Carmen as well on Monday, June 30th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. That conversation is called Watch Your Mouth. We are going to discuss the power of the tongue and how it can speak life or death into our own lives and the lives of others. My guest speaker that day is motivational speaker Miss Tabitha Jordan. These are two ways where we can reach our kids to give them a sense of self-awareness, to see where they are, to give them a mindful awareness, to see how their experience are not just affecting how they look through the lens, but how they're looked at through someone else's lens as well.
That's heavy. So, look, you just laid it out for them, and we can, people sitting around, they're like, well, how much it costs?
We can talk about that. See, the whole thing is I'm doing what I do out of purpose. Don't get me wrong. We all have to eat. However, to see my payback is what I see on the faces of our kids. The relationships that establish after these events. Because it's not just me creating the relationships. I'm watching relationships between adults and young people evolve every day. When a young man comes to tell me, I saw what's his name from Mentality, and he gonna jam with me later. That's what I need to see. When I see Bobby Drake, the poet, teaching a young person to enunciate his words so that he can be heard clearly when he speaks his poetry, these are little things that plant seeds in the lives of people. I have flat fees for my workshops and events. Call me and we can discuss that on a population basis of how many people are going to be at your event. And we also...
No, I mean for these coming up.
Oh, for these are free.
They're what?
They're free.
They what?
Free.
Okay, we just want to be clear
free
about that.
$99.
Okay.
Free $99.
Just want to be clear about that.
Yes, come.
That is Tuesday, January 24th. That's the
Yes.
mentality. Now, you know, some sisters thinking... They always out there. They be like, so can I come?
Yes, you
So,
can.
sis,
And the reason I
you
say
gotta
that,
go.
a lot of people have asked me, well, Jendora,
Exactly.
what gave you the vibe to create an all-male group?
Right.
The answer is simple. My life is my message. I've raised 4 sons.
There you go.
I know what it's like to have the need to have a support system of other men in the lives of my boys. If I can do that for other young men, I'm down with that.
Yep.
And
Man.
as women, we need to call our males
There
to
you
the
go.
plate.
There you go.
Lift up our men. Let them know that they are needed in the lives of our young boys out here. And how do we do that? We are present.
Y'all hear this?
We are present. We are the support system. The only thing you need to bring through the door, if you choose to, is some food. Bring a dish to pass. Pass your piece. That's the only thing that's required to come to any of my events. Show up and show out. Just that simple.
So the male event, again, I just want to reiterate for people that's listening up, this is Miss Jendora Kelly,
Yes.
live on
Yes.
the Educational Arts Project. And this event that she's talking about is a dinner dialogue mentality, looking to facilitate some healthy dialogue between generations, between younger adults and older adults, between youth, men, parents. You know, this is a family affair. It's free. And the other interesting thing I want people to understand and want people to see, on the Educational Arts Project, we talk about this, but in real life, it's happening right here in Milwaukee. So this is an MPS building. This is a school that's allowing a community culture leader to bring our community together after school hours for a free community event, exchanging dialogue, eating food, breaking bread, and healing.
Yes.
You understand? So
Yes.
we talking, we not just talking this talk. We talking solutions, and we bring in actions to the table that people can participate in and get involved with. And that's what it's really about. So the female, or I shouldn't say that, the Mothers Understanding Daughters, the MUD event is called Watch Your Mouth. And that's table talk for female youth and adult women, facilitated by Miss Jendora Kelly. That'll be Monday, January 30th, 2017. And that's 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And that's free. And I'm going to spread this out because this is definitely needed.
Yes.
On a lot of levels. There's a lot of need for mediation in our community, especially on a family level. Mothers to daughters that don't get along, fathers to sons,
Right,
et cetera,
right.
et cetera. And this is an opportunity for some of that healing process to start to happen. And we need spaces where it's safe to bring that and safe to say, okay, this is where my family can go get support and some good hot food.
Yes.
And some good love.
Yes.
But also, you know, we can deal with some things. Maybe we can unpack some things that we dealing with, and we don't have any place else to do it. You know, and so this is critical. And we'll support it, and we'll make sure we announce it again on here on the Educational Arts Project, without a doubt. And we'll share, you know, with some of the young people in the network as well. It's a must. It's a must.
It's a need.
It's a crisis out here.
Yes,
That's right.
it is.
It's not a game.
It is.
And we ain't on the air to be playing. We don't play with words. We don't play no games around here. And like we always say, you know, no business or no artist is an island. You know, we can't do none of this stuff by ourselves. And so we talk a lot about the business of art. The art of business here on this platform. You know, we also talk about the educational level, and you mentioned it without me even having to say nothing. We also talk about the parenting level of what this means, why we do what we do, and how do we share those lessons and share those jewels with other parents, young parents. We have some young parents out here who raised their own selves, so they didn't
That's
really
right.
they didn't have no blueprint.
That's right.
They raised, you know, and so what do we do to transfer some understanding? What do we do to transfer this culture in a more healthy way of life?
Now, the thing is, the first classroom that you attend, the first classroom that your child attends is home.
It's in the womb.
That's right. Right there. That's where you learn love.
That's right.
That's where you learn understanding. That's where you learn communicate. That's where you learn your first party. How to have a good time. You learn that from home and what that looks like and what that feels like. If we can bridge our traditional values and morals into the educational setting and take the need of respect from the educational setting back home, vice versa, that bridge is going to have endless possibilities. Parents need to be more present.
That's right.
We have to step up.
So let's talk about that. Parents are hustling and bustling, doing a lot. They working 2-3 jobs. It's rough. It's hard. So let's talk about like what's some of the ways that you as an educator have supported parents and helped to facilitate that bridge of bringing them in to be more present even in their child's life. Maybe not even in school all the time. Maybe that's not possible, but just to bring them in to be more present in the process of maybe something you are doing in that child's life that's happening.
Well, first of all, parents as well as students need to know that they're not alone.
That's right.
It can be something as simple as answering a question. It can be something as simple as listening. This happened at school today with my son or daughter. How do we deal with this? Just being able to have a support system to sit down and talk with you and go through these things. Help a parent organize. When can you come in? I want to make this feasible for you. Your child needs you. I need you. And the importance of a student noting that a school and a parent are on the same page is a remedy for success. It just gives to success. It defines success. Because our youth need to know that people believe in them. Our parents need to know that people believe in them. We see what you're doing. The way our world is set up, it's hard to go to work, go to school, raise a kid. A kid is involved in sports. We got to help each other. We have to help each other. No one should be doing this alone. And the reason I set up for these 2 gender-specific programs, especially both of them actually, Mud and Mentality. If you can go hear a conversation and your mother is not there, somebody else's mother is there for you. If you can go hear a conversation that your daughter may need to hear, but she can't be there, you're going to hear how she feels through the voice of somebody else's daughter. That's the purpose of all of this, is to enhance communication within our culture. We're not talking to each other. And whatever we do not do constructively, we turn and do it destructively. So let's build, restore, reaffirm. Everything that we have for success, we have it.
Teach.
Everything we need, we already have it.
I'm gonna just walk out there.
Let's just
you just keep going. I'm gonna just walk out. You just take over the education arts project from here. I'm out. I'm gonna just leave. You can just keep going.
And like I said, all of this is from personal experience.
That's right.
I've raised 6 kids. My youngest son is 15 years old. And I can name off coaches, Spencer Ross, Eric Bornson. These are people who have stepped up. Miss Kelly, I know you got stuff to do. I got James. Just to know that somebody has my back. And if I can do that for somebody else or set up a support system like that for other people, let's do this. Let's do this. There is not one day that I do not tell a youth that I love them, that I'm going to hug them. That may be the only hug that child receives all day. And if you can take the time out to do it, do it.
All year, all
do
month.
Do it.
You ain't lying.
Do not walk away from a young person without telling them that you love them. It plants a seed. Nourish that.
That's real. And that's the importance of why we have this conversation on this public level, on the airwaves. And like I said, it's been a lot of connectivity offline in between our shows because what you're saying is resonating with people on a whole nother level.
Thank you.
And how you operate is important, and people can apply this information. People can take what you're saying and apply it in their own life. They can use this information, and that's what this is all about.
Invest into us.
That's it. That's it.
Personal investments.
That's right.
I'm helping these youth. These are the businessmen and women from my grandchildren. It comes back.
No question.
Whatever you put into the universe, it comes back. Put it out there.
Without a doubt. So you on stages.
Yeah.
You're doing performances.
Yeah.
Speaking of putting it out there. Live a little. Just do your thing. And you're also on stages. Miss Kelly is an actress and a performer and an artist.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You're a co-director of a local theater. company.
Yes.
And so,
actually, all of us are co-directors.
Let's talk about it.
The director is Miss Katina Cole, and our local.
who I've heard I gotta get on the show
gotta
to
get
talk.
down with Katina.
So I want to say peace to Katina. We'll meet
Yes.
soon. We'll talk, and you can share your love and vibes.
And
with
what's
my
crazy,
listening
she's at
audience.
Carmen High School right now.
Oh, nice, nice.
But the theater group is called Empower Theater. And basically what we do is we empower our community through social justice advocacy through the expression of art. We do this in the form of plays. We've done Vagina Monologues. We've done Butterfly Confessions. We've done Untamed. We've done Hands Up. We've done
So
Pocketbook Diaries.
people might be lost. I'm gonna stop.
Y'all might be lost.
I gotta stop.
Gotta roll with me.
You talking about pocket diaries, butterflies, and vaginas? I need you to break it down. I need you to explain to people what we're talking about here.
Okay, these are all plays.
You feel me, Josh?
Right.
Gotta break these things down, man.
What are you doing, Jendora?
Yeah, you stepped into a whole nother realm. You know, she was talking about
What is
saving
she
the
wearing?
babies. Yeah.
No, but basically these are plays that are done in the form of monologues that are the voice of the unspoken.
And I've heard some outstanding reviews from some of you all's productions. And,
Thank you.
And I'm always excited when I hear new energy of, I don't know, new to me, I guess. I don't know how long it's been going on, but I'm always excited when I hear about new energies on stages, different things happening, people producing different things for the people who love performing arts. It don't always have to be a show or a concert or a comedy show or et cetera, et cetera. Like sometimes people want, theater and that's a different realm. It's all theater in my mind, but that's a different realm. And so to start out like on a monologue level, and is it woman focused or is it co-ed, if you will?
A lot of our shows have been woman focused, but now we're branching.
I love that focus because a lot of times there's so much healing in that exchange of what
it is.
The intention going in and what
Right.
you all are sharing. Like it's powerful on a lot of different levels. So I know you all are looking to recruit
Yes.
a talent. Is talent you're looking for?
We're looking for talent.
Is it talent you're looking for?
Actors.
Milwaukee, listen up.
Milwaukee, listen to me. Our young people, ages 15 to 17 years old, Empower Theater is doing auditions January 21st and 22nd. Please look up that information on Facebook. You can look it under not my name or Empower Theater. That's capital M, capital POWER, Empower. We are doing a play called Facing Our Truth. This is a collaboration of 10-minute plays about Trayvon Martin, race, and privilege. So we're looking for youth actors there, and also we would like to share some Milwaukee youth talent based on that theme of race and privilege. So if you have a poem, a monologue, a rap, an interpretive dance, this is your time to be a voice in an artistic form. So get in touch with me about these auditions. Get in touch with me about the show. The show will be coming up in April, at the end of April. We got to give ourselves a chance to rehearse and perfect our stuff,
Valid.
But it's going to be right. The responses from our shows have been wonderful. One of the last shows that we did was called Hands Up, and it was about racial profiling. My son, Sean Thompson, was in that show. And the impact that it has made on his life has encouraged him to be a writer in so many different areas. I got to share something with you on a personal note later about Sean, but he is the bomb. I mean, Sean is doing his thing. So once you plant that seed of belief and determination, the possibilities become endless. We all need an outlet. And let's do that outlet in an artistic form. Your voice needs to be heard. Not only will your voice be heard, you become the voice of those who can't speak for themselves.
Right.
That's where healing takes place.
That's right.
When you have a young person in the audience nodding their head, like, yeah, that's how I feel. The next nod gonna say, yeah, I can do this.
they end up finding their voice.
They find their voice.
Sometimes on stage, sometimes in the audience.
Yes, they do.
And it's powerful.
Yes, and our productions also have talkbacks at the end where you can conversate with the cast so that you know these real life characters come from real life people.
That's
Communication.
Awesome. Communication. And that's awesome. In the future, we should bring some of the young people that you all work with
I would love to.
On the platform as well to talk about just the way that transformation and that inspiration has affected them.
I would love to.
That's awesome. Let's make that happen in the future. So you covered a lot, and you made a lot of connections in between what you do with theater and the empowerment, literally, and then what you do in the classroom.
Yes, thank you.
And answered my question before I even asked it. So thank you very much. Moving right along here. So this is big. So how do you envision, like, what's the future for the theater company? What's some of the goals? Like, what do you see like in the future? Like, what's some of the forecasting for that? Like, I want to see the big picture. I always ask my guests, like, what's the goals? Like, give me the dream.
The big picture for Empower Theater is that our actors become directors. Where these community plays become state plays, become traveling plays, where we become the voice going all over the country if we have to. It starts right here, but that doesn't mean it stops right here. So we want to make this as big as possible because we're impacting lives.
How can people support? If somebody's listening and they're like, wow, that's awesome. I can never get on stage and be an actor or an actress, but I would like to support. How can they support?
Invite us to do a production at your own business and organization. We've done productions at UWM. I'm interested in getting in contact with MATC, if someone just heard that. I would want, wherever people are is where we need to be. Wherever there are growing minds is where we need to be, is where we need to be heard, is where they need to be heard. So we are open to doing productions wherever, whenever.
And again, your information, how they can get in touch with you.
Get in contact with us on Facebook, Jendora Kelly. Also, you can email me at jendorakelly@gmail. JENDORAKELLEY.
And you might as well get that phone number out again.
Phone number
might as well.
414-766-4222. Keeping it simple just for you.
There you go. There you go. She's a natural, y'all. We want to just briefly, while we're on the subject of theater, I want to shout out this upcoming production that's happening in the city. It helps, parents and if you got young people that's running around the house dressing up, always putting on a show,
yes,
always performing. Can't wait to show off and show out and doing it in a fun, spirited way. It's a way to support that. It's a way to help shape that and mold that and use that creative energy and spirit within our young people and our babies. You see their natural talents very, very early.
Yes.
And you should not stifle that. So we talk about that from a parenting level on the Educational Arts Project. And you done went in on it so deep that I'm sure there's a lot of thankful parents and
yes,
and mothers and then maybe even grandmothers listening.
Right. And I encourage parents to take their young people to experience art.
There you go.
Definitely.
Yeah, there you go. So that leads me to this announcement, or I guess you could just say just a bit of invitation to the first stage Welcome to Brownsville play. That's a world premiere play written and directed by a local playwright. Sherry Williams Pennell. I'm pretty sure you are.
I'm going.
I thought you may be involved.
And
one way or
Sherry
the other.
has actually impacted my life. She's known me since birth. So, yes, definitely.
The connections, that's what we talk about here. The culture, the connections, the support.
Extended family.
That's right. The degrees of connection, not separation, is real. So that's Welcome to Brownsville. It's happening, and it's going to be going. The show will be running from January 13th until February 5th. And so that's tomorrow. It starts Friday, tomorrow. Get your tickets.
Yeah.
It's at the Todd Weir Theater, Market Center for the Performing Arts. And it's a family-friendly show, so you can bring your family out, and tickets can be purchased in person. You can walk right up to the Market Center box office and support this black play about a historic, legendary black community and a time and again a culture and a way of life and a part of our story and our journey here in Wisconsin. I guess you could say in America as well, because there's a lot of Bronzevilles. There's a lot of similar stories, you know, to Bronzevilles, and there's a lot of Bronzevilles actually in other places, and so our story is connected on so many different levels, and that's part of our culture that we want to share with the next generation, to talk to them about what this is, to be able to sort of unfold and sort out this crisis. Sometimes we have to go back. As they say, the same code for birds, you got to go backwards to go forwards. You have to really be able to sometimes to do it in a creative way. Make our young people, that's right, interested in a future based on their past, based on them being interested in their past. And that happens in creative ways sometimes. Do you know how much history was sparked and how much information and knowledge was sparked to us through hip hop in the 80s? Do you know how much information and jewels and names and legacies was dropped on us through beats and rhymes that made us want to go study and made us want to go learn? Who are they talking about? What are they talking about? And oh my goodness. And so if you can express, you know, that in any sort of art form, in music, in theater, in visual art, you can spark the interest of the next generation. You can spark the interest even of our elders who may have thought, hey, don't nobody remember that, they forgot about it. But some of our elders may really enjoy this because they lived through it. They lived through it.
And our elders taking our children to go see this will spark conversations about their own experiences. They'll get to learn their own history. Families need to go see plays like this. They really do. Take your grandchildren. Take your children. Take your sisters and brothers. It will reconnect you with memories and history within your own families. To spark those necessary conversations, you need to go see stuff like that. It's part of culture.
The opening night is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. And it's a special event, you know, and it's included extended talkbacks, and it's held in conjunction with most of the performances. So, you know, again, if you want to go learn and get some extended history, if you want to learn more about what happened in Milwaukee and how it got to be the way it is and what was going on before the freeway sliced up the hood and when businesses was thriving and why it's all boarded up on Fond du Lac and why it's looking all deserted. And if you want to know why, if you want to learn some of the pieces of the puzzle, this is part of it, you know, and this is real. You can go to different parts of the city and everybody has their own story, their own migration story, their own survival story, you know. I learned, you know, different things coming up on the east side about homes that had basement houses, and it was sneak tunnels that they would hide immigrants in, and they, you know, Underground Railroad, you know, all kind of different levels of history that you walking around amongst, and you might not even know it, you might not even understand it, and like Miss Kelly also said, it may even be connected to your own family.
That's right.
As small as Milwaukee is.
Right.
You be learning about different cousins you have every other week. It's real. Sometimes through tragedy, but, you know, sometimes through something, you know, powerful. And something like this is powerful. Like we talked about the genealogy conference coming up at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society Museum in February that you need to be at, you need to learn about, you need to get up on the information and find out what's going on in the city and some of the things that could benefit you and your family. And then again, as we talk about here, once your youngsters, your youngins, your youths, your seeds, once they see you doing different things to expand your life and get out of your comfort zone, they'll understand it's more culture out here. You know, you don't have to just accept what's fed to you through the media and through the video games and through the social media and through the garbage that sometimes is just the only thing that's being fed to them.
Right.
You know, it's like we got to bust out the bubbles and teach our young adults and young parents how to bust out them bubbles.
Yes.
So we just be sort of dropping information and events and different things like that on this platform. So again, if you ever have stuff coming up, you want us to support what you got popping, shoot me information, shoot me emails or what have you, and I'll definitely support it and inform the community, you know, as it comes up. Because I know, you know, as it moves at high speed, you always hit me up about different things you got going on at the school.
Yep.
If you're looking for guest speakers, if you're looking for, you know, support, volunteers, what have you. So, you know, I'll be able to communicate that here on the airwaves.
And I am always looking for people willing to give their personal testimony.
And I think that's so powerful, the way you bring the community artists and educators into your classroom because they have invaluable experiences and stories to share with our young people. And as you know, sometimes You've seen it. You know how it works. I could walk in the classroom and control the whole environment without saying much of anything. And the teacher sometimes look at me like I just did a magic trick and swallowed a fireball or something. And all I did was just be myself. But the students relate, and they see me, and they see themselves, and they see me, and they see somebody they can relate to. And so that's big. I encourage all of the people who want to give back. If you want to do something, it don't have to be your children's school. You may not even have any children, but go volunteer and step up in one of these educational spaces so you can share your gift, so you can share your story. I have brought in gentlemen who don't have the most favorable stories, but they have lessons within their stories to teach our young men, hey, what not to do.
There is no testimony without test.
Hey, I'm telling you. It's all relative. So again, if you're interested in getting in touch with Miss Kelly about telling your story, sharing your story at one of her events or inside of the school classroom, it's important. We need success stories. We need our young people to see examples of leadership, examples of family and real connections of adults working together, of adults doing business together.
For the benefit of our youth.
For the benefit of the community, the benefit of the family, the benefit of our babies. It's all about that. And then using the creatives, using the arts, again, that's what this platform is about. So if we're talking theater, we're talking dance, you just said it, you're looking for young people. What's the age range of people you're looking for the theater?
15 to 17. 15 to 17. Actually, high school students.
Okay.
If you are in high school and you can rap, you can dance with a message, poetry, monologue with a message about race, privilege, profiling, bring it. Bring it. Your voice needs to be heard. Do it in an artistic form. Put your voice out there so that people will listen. There are people who want to know what you feel and what you have to say.
Otherwise, I always tell young people, otherwise somebody be speaking for you.
Exactly.
You don't
what
want
you don't
that.
say for yourself, somebody else going to say for you. And it may not be your truth.
Exactly. You don't want that in life. And sometimes it's a process. Well, most times it's a process to learn how to do that.
Right.
And so some of us was raised that way.
Right.
But a lot of us are not. And so that's part of this edification that happens here on the Educational Arts Project. And
if you have a young person that's angry, that stands in front of you and expresses anger, are you more willing to listen to an out-of-control mind or a mindful youth who is giving their voice to you in an artistic form but still getting the same message across? Think about that.
Could be a little cousin, could be a little nephew or niece, and or it could be a little homie on the block that you see not really doing, so we got to start reaching out.
Reach out.
And pulling them in.
Talk to them.
You can look up Empower Theater.
Empower Theater, capital MPOWER.
That's huge. We're gonna continue to support that and invite you to the different productions that's coming down the pipe. Invite you to the different events that are going on that Miss Kelly is producing for the family. It's healthy. It's about dialogue, conversation, communication. It's education, and it's coming from a creative background.
Yes.
What else is coming up, Miss Kelly? You got a lot popping.
I got a
Before
lot
January,
popping.
You got 2 events.
I got 2
Next
events.
month, the following month.
Right.
It's
actually,
that season.
Mud and Mentality meet on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So if you would like to host a Mud or Mentality event at your location, holla at me. I don't always have to do this at Carmen. I am open to doing this at other places and other neighborhoods for other kids and other families.
That's awesome.
So this is open. This is not for Carmen. This is for everyone.
And it's needed. Like you said, it's needed for adults. It's needed for the children, the intergenerational piece, the men, the women. It's something in there for everyone.
And I also encourage personal testimonies from our youth. A guest speaker does not have to be an adult.
Without a doubt.
If you have a story and you want your story to be heard, come talk to me. Let's do it.
And we can create that artistic way to tell it.
Exactly.
Or we can do it in another way. We can get gangster. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
All right, so we can really handle this like gentlemen. No, how you doing over there, Josh?
Oh yeah,
good.
Man.
We winning. We winning, man. We winning over here. All we do is win, and all we gonna do is win. Josh, all you gonna do is win. That's just it's for you. That's it. So all we're gonna do is win. That's all we're gonna do here at the Educational Arts Project. I'm your host, Viva Fidel. You can follow us. Viva Fidel at Twitter. We live on Periscope each and every Thursday. You can check the archive episodes on Viva Fidel, Periscope TV. And like I said, this is the pulse of the community. There's a lot of different voices that you hear here on this platform. There's a lot of different information that we'd like to share in the future. I've asked some of my guests to help us and I've asked some of my listeners to help us do research and help us find other guests. Who do we need to be talking to here? Like, you came in and you suggested someone. Like, that's what we're talking about here, because I don't know everything and everybody. I know a lot of bodies and a lot of things, but I could definitely use, and my audience could definitely use more of that communication to figure out who's who.
Because we all know somebody that knows somebody.
No question. And we all can do more. That's what I always summate. When it comes to the real work on the ground of, creating that constructive change in our family lives, in our communities, on a greater level, and then as a people on a huge level, on a holistic level, as you stated before. Right. It's important, and it's also we obligated, so, for any of my listeners, you always know you can reach out to me and ask, and add on and say, hey, there's a great guest that you need to talk to. We'll be trying to do some call-in interviews. I'm having people from around the country now. They tuning in and they like, hey, this conversation is great. We got some people you need to be talking to. So I'm laying the foundation. I've been bringing the sisters in back to back, letting people know what's really real, letting people know what's really happening on the ground in the city. And now I'm getting calls from around the country. So here, even locally, and whoever's listening to it, keep that information coming. We're going to make sure we can, get as many guests here to share on the airwaves, them good vibrations and that good information and inspiration, as many as possible. It's a focused conversation. It's the Educational Arts Project right here live every Thursday, 101.3 FM, the Pulse of Milwaukee. Josh, you ready to ride out? Let's ride out. Hey.
That was fun.
Miss Jendora, dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun. You was perfect. I knew you was just gonna flow. Just gonna flow. I'm gonna get up and leave. Just flow. Yeah.
That was all right. Thank you, Josh.
All right, no problem.
Let me get back to my class.
Right. See, I love that, because you one of the rare ones who actually can get away on a school day.
Oh, I told him.
I have a lot of right. I have a lot of educators who like, man, they want to come on, they want to holler, they want to share. But it's a Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get off yet.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm gonna let you know. I get it.
And
I know.
see, my title too gives me that flexibility.
Yo, you done created that. You done created that.
I even got to the point, Josh. I made up my title. They didn't give me my title.
There you go.
Huh.
They got to the point they didn't know what to do with me at the school.
There you go.
Should she teach special ed? No, I'm not a special ed teacher. No, that's not what I am. So I directed my own path.
Came in and created your own.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
They tried to make me an assistant dean last year. I was assistant dean last year.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, all this shaking the finger at kids.
Yeah.
They're not hearing me because they ain't got a clue to what they did wrong.
And see, you know, it's the work. It speaks for itself.
It's the culture piece.
You know, it speaks for itself, and how you connect with you, and how you shifted the culture around there. It speaks for itself.
And they try to make
call it what you want. At the end of the day, call it what you want. Ain't nobody into titles. Y'all into
to
titles.
The point, I told
That's
them,
your
I said,
problem.
you need a title? Go ahead, I give you a title. But I tell you what, you can put my desk in the telephone.